Hey guys, KJ here from KJRocker.com, and today we are interviewing Emilio from Lighting Track. So let's go over to Emilio. Emilio, tell us about yourself, where you're from, and what you do.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Kige, for this opportunity. And sure, my name is Jorge, Spanish name. I've been on the affiliate marketing side for 11 years already and working for top companies as Matomi, Lucy, Headway, and so on. And it was in 2017 when I realized that, well, no, I realized a while ago that I don't like to have a boss, actually, and that I'm pretty independent. So on the last work I have is when I realized that I didn't have enough time to manage every task that I was made to do. So I came up with the idea of what if, I don't know, some kind of tool can help me actually. So then is when Landing Track was born. I met my partner and I explained what was my problem and how to sort it out. And he told me, yeah, it's pretty easy. Let's make it. And that happened in summer, before summer 2017. And by the end of the year, right when I was alone in Bangkok, I took the decision to leave everything, quit my job and everything, and dedicate my full time to Landing Track, basically.
Right. So for how long you have been with Lighting Track? How old is this project?
Summer 2017, that was the former idea. During summer, we were, of course, working on that. But actually, we both, my partner and I, we were employees in different companies. So that was a little bit tough because you finish your work at 6, perhaps 7 p.m. So then you don't go and have some beers. So you go home and you start to develop everything. So that's funny because I don't know how, but we managed to survive for the next 6 months until December with no social life and so on. But in December, everything started to work. All the automation that we built on Landing Track and everything. So we say, okay, if we want to make this really work, we need to dedicate it 24 hours a day. So let's quit and jump.
Right. Right. That's amazing. Okay, so so far the tests I have done in your server, I'm amazed. I really love it.
Thanks.
I won't spoil it for my audience. I'd like you to tell me why athletes should get your tracker and use it. Explain it in your words.
Okay. Although I'm not the one who has to say that, because of course I love the product that we have created. Because it was created actually because our market has a need in its evolution. And I remember back in the days that all the trackers that it used to be in the market and still are in the market. I don't complain. They are fantastic, honestly. But it has been already 6 years. 6 years where there's no development. And the world is moving. So what is Landing Track and why I love this baby, this beauty? It's a fully automated tracking system, actually, where you connect your demand, which is your affiliate networks, to API. And that basically is saving time because you just need to click a few offers and you auto import them. Pretty easy. And then on the other side, we have all the DSPs integrated. Right now, 17 and more coming in, actually. So when you have an account with them, actually Landing Track, what it's doing when you integrate is literally accessing to your account. So you have the whole picture, advertiser, Landing Track, DSP, and then we have all the rules. So when you are buying, it's like you can set up Landing Track in 5 minutes, and in less than 10 minutes, you can then have a conversion. So by this block, optimization rules working for you, and everything done for you. That doesn't mean that we will be doing the whole job for you, but of course, I think that the bots, the good ones, not the bad ones, are designed to help humans. And 21st century, we need bots to help us in our daily jobs, actually.
Right. So, how many networks you have integrated with so far in terms of traffic sources, advertising networks?
Okay, advertising networks, we don't have a big focus right now because there's tons of networks. And the problem that we have seen with networks is that there are many payments.
Right.
So last thing that we want to do is to do integration with networks that perhaps they are not really trustful. The ones that we have integrated, of course, are fully trustful, and they've been in the market for quite a while, so you can run with them. And that's why the focus on affiliate networks is not that important right now. But on the DSP side, I mean, on the ad networks, I think we are covering at least pop traffic, 80% of the pop traffic, which is popular ads, Zero Park, Tonic, Self Appetizer, Pop Cash, Pop Ads, Active Revenue, Dash, Black Rush, Exotly, Traffic Stars, Room Native, Ad Maven, Easy Mob, Explore Ads, and many more. Room Native also, and many more coming in.
Right. So, in case if there's no like the network, there's no network available on your or in your integration, there's a network I want which is not available. Can I add it? By custom settings?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, after all, we understand that not all the traffic sources have the technology to be integrated. So we add a bunch of ad networks that they don't have the API ready with all the templates, with the logo, just to make it beauty. So let's say, I don't know, that you want to run with Adstera. Adstera, it's working on the API, but it's not ready. So what you can do on landing track is just connect it, and you will have like a template, pretty easy one. We already give by default the URL with the necessary tokens and parameters that you need to start running. And then as an extra ones, you can always start adding new ones in order for you to get more information on what you are buying. So you can do the same on both sides. You are not working with an affiliate network that we have integrated, no worries. Just create a custom one. And if you are working with a different DSP, you just need to plug it, and that's all.
Right. So I guess the idea is that those who are integrated with you, that's completely automated. Everything is automated. And those where they don't provide you API, or those who are not updated networks, there you have to do manual work like you do it with other trackers. Am I right?
Correct. That's the only problem.
Right. So basically, your tracker, what it does is it automates everything, right? Optimization and importing offers and things like that. So that's the basic purpose of this tracker.
Exactly. Right. The main purpose is to, if before you used to spend 24 hours every day of the week optimizing sources, grabbing new offers, and things like that, you don't need to do that anymore.
Right. So it will optimize everything itself.
Exactly. Not everything. Let's be realistic on this point. But of course, I don't know. I remember back in the days when it's 3:00 in the morning and your campaign or your offer drops. So what do you have to do? You need to go to your laptop, no matter how drunk you are or how busy you are, and you need to stop everything.
Yeah.
So with laptop, you have tons of rules. So if something drops, no worries. Perhaps you will lose, I don't know, 10 minutes of traffic paying it, but then it will be blocked.
Right. So basically, when I was testing, the way it works is you set a certain amount of, like, let's say, you can say number of clicks. After that, if you don't get any conversion, your tracker will block everything as well. So it's working as an optimizer as well. It optimizes everything It's
Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, it's for the first time because, I mean, I'm pretty sure that everyone is familiar that when they are into a tracking system, they always read that it's a one-stop solution where you can control your campaigns and everything. Well, it is true or not. That's the power of marketing and grammar, right? But for me, when it means a one-stop solution, it means when you really control everything. And by controlling everything, it means that from my laptop and one tab, I can actually control and I can even do actions.
Right. What sort of actions you mean here? Like what sort of actions I can do from Tracker?
Exactly. So actions you can do on landing track. So optimization rules. That will mean that our good bots, they will be checking for you every minute. Every minute, all the DSPs that are plugged to a campaign, they will be checking all your rules. So the rules can be, for example, if a sub ID or Sun ID or placement ID has to spend 50 cents and there is no conversion, then block it for me. So landing track goes to the DSP and block it. Right. Then you can do the same by clicks. So a certain amount of clicks, no conversion, then block it. And then we have another rule, which is the minimum profit guarantee. Because many times you will see that one sub ID or placement ID made a conversion, but it never happened again. It was just that one. So there is also a rule to guarantee you some profit from that conversion. Beside that, we have like time rules, like check within the last 24 hours. If the campaign drops the profit $5, then pause. If the sub ID drops 50 cents, then cut it.
Right.
And beside that, you can always say that all your campaigns or your traffic sources have been paused. You can always check an option to reactivate them all the next day. So you wake up in the morning and everything is completely active, or pause again, depending on your rules, but you don't need to touch it. Of course, you will need to go to the DSP to exclude, for example, I don't know, a specific carrier or a specific browser, of tiny and minor things. But the rest, it's all on landing track. Sure. Even if you need to target, I don't know, a campaign from 7 a.m. till 1 p.m., then pause and reactivate it at 5 p.m. and finish at 7 p.m., then landing track will active, pause, based on your rules.
Right. So how about like caps? Like most of advertisers when I'm running, sometimes what happens is there are caps, like,
yes.
caps, and that's where sometimes, we lose most of money. So do you have anything to control that sort of thing?
Yeah, in fact, we have two ways to do that. I mean, when you are connected through an API, it's even easier because landing track will be checking on the affiliate network every hour the status of the offer. So if we realize that the offer reached the cap, well, usually the status is pause. So it will bring the news to landing track and will pause the offer. The good thing about that is that if you have a campaign with only one offer, okay, connecting the campaign to a DSP, and that offer get paused, then automatically the DSP will be paused. So you will lose only 1 hour with this, the time that we check the affiliate network. But beside that, when you create a custom network, okay, we will be asking you first, at what time is their server's time zone?
Right.
Okay? So if your client is in UK, then you will need to ask your client, at what time do you reset the caps? 12 midnight. Cool. You set it up. So each offer that belongs to that advertiser based in UK with that reset cap, landing track will take it into consideration. So at that time, it will reset the caps.
Right. And does it build blacklist for me as well? Because as I noticed, it's mostly focusing on pop and push traffic, right? And one of the big things is to building blacklists. So will it, like, let's say it's integrated with, I don't know, Propeller ads, will it build blacklist for me as well?
I wouldn't say building yet right now. I will say that we have a cool tool that it's called the source list, where let's say that you are running with propellers or any other, and still we are focusing UK. Okay, so you can start running a campaign. So first you create a source list and you name it whatever the vertical is, blacklist or whitelist. So then when you are running, you can always select all those sub IDs that you like or you hate and put it into that white or black list. This is something that it will come more into the future once we are capable to create campaigns from landing track, because you will be able to automatically say, and this is the black list for this campaign or the white list for this campaign.
Right, but let's say, for example, I'm testing on propeller ads. Okay, I'm I'm targeting everywhere, and in my optimization rules, I have, like, let's say I'm going to spend $1 on every sub ID, every traffic source or zone ID, and after that, if it doesn't convert, I want to block it. Will your tracker do that for me?
If you set up the rule, of course.
Wow, perfect. Because that's the kind of thing we really need. So it's sort of these are kind of things which happen most of the times. Like, let's say if we forget something, my landing page is not working properly, or I made a mistake and I ran campaign, you may lose money. It happened to me a few days ago. The offer wasn't working properly, and we almost blew out $1,000 within a matter of hours. So yeah,
that's not good.
So yeah, it's really nice to see that is something, AI based artificial intelligence coming into our industry. So that's really cool. But I must say, your tracker is more like futuristic, I think, because I have tested it as well. And I guess you connected to me 6 months ago or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time you introduced me, I thought, I don't know, because I couldn't understand it. That's really hard to understand. So we use it.
You weren't the only one, honestly. You weren't the only one, believe me, because one of the hardest things at the beginning for me to explain to the people is like, yes, we will build a new tracking system. Cool. So what's the advantage? So I was explaining everything, and the faces of everyone were like, no, I don't understand. I don't understand. So you connect the affiliate networks, then you create this and you do everything automatically. And I say, yes, that's simple. That's all. And then I realized that I say, well, perhaps it's better to say, okay, you know volume? Yes. You know the optimizer? Yes. You know our price? Yes. Okay. Put everything together. That's landing track.
Right. Yeah.
And then sometimes it's tough understand, and some other times it's like, okay, forget it. Keep with your manual work. It's okay.
Yeah, just for our viewers, basically for 6 months we've been talking. Even I was given access. It was hard for me to understand or make sense. Like, how is it possible, and understand it. And then I went to Barcelona on Affiliate World Europe. We met there, sat down with Ian Fernando, me and Yi, and that's how I started testing it. But yeah, so far my results been amazing. So with that said, let's come to the next question. Like, I know you explained it a bit, but still, for an average affiliate who's using Volume, who's using BNOM, BMOB, or any other tracker, why they should join your tracker? Why yours is better?
Okay, I wouldn't say it's better. Okay, I will say that it will save you time and money. And you will have enough time to learn other things, perhaps in marketing, okay? Because the main reason or the main difference between, well, there are too many differences between landing track and other trackers, but let's focus perhaps on automation. So when you're doing media buying, you don't have time for lunch. Why? Because you are spending your own money on DSPs buying. So you need to check your tracker, and you need to have at least one open tab and checking the delay that the DSP has with the non-delay of your tracker. So you need to make the math in order to block in on the DSP. So what's the point over here? I mean, the point is to let the bots do it for you based on your rules. So I wouldn't say we are better, is yes, we are more efficient.
Right.
So, because after all, there's people that they love to stay 24 hours every minute, sitting on their chairs, checking everything. It's fine. Exactly. It's fine. But for the guys or for the people that they want to set up a campaign and let the bots do the work so he can focus on writing content, keep studying pre-landers, or keep doing all the things. Landing Track is actually the only tracker right now that it's capable to do that. Also, when you take in a plane or when you go with your girlfriend, wife, friends, who's checking the campaigns? If it's not Landing Track. That's the thing.
Perfect. So let's come to the pricing bit. I'm most of times newbies and new people contact me, and one of the things I notice is not everyone has a big budget, right? And all of them, maybe they spend way too much money on tools as compared to they should be spending on advertising. So, how much are you guys charging?
Good question. Right now we have for $20, 3,000 clicks. 3,000 clicks exactly per month.
Okay, $20. Right.
Yep.
So do you have any other bigger plans as well?
Yeah, we have the starter one because that one's the new week. The starter one is actually $79 for 5 million clicks. Then we have the professional one, which is $300 for 50 million clicks. And then we have the master one, which is 50 million clicks for $650. And if you need more, that means that you are doing good. We can talk and we can get a deal, of course.
Right. So I see your packages are super cheap, as compared to the others. I've seen plenty of, going up to 100, more than that. So one question that comes to mind is, does that affect loading speed or anything like that? I mean,
no, I wouldn't say that. I like that question. Because usually, the most important thing when you build a tracker is technology.
Right.
And in order to build technology, you need to have at least, if it's not the best, you need to have the best team.
Right.
And we all know how many programmers are in the world, and everyone is fantastic. But each one of those, they are better on certain aspect of coding. So, when your tracking system needs to be deployed on Amazon or Google, from my understanding, it's like you don't really have a good tech team because they need to depend on the big ones.
Right.
And when you know to develop and when you know to code properly, you can take the shittiest car on earth and make it a Ferrari with it.
Right.
And that's why Landing Track can have those prices at this moment. And that's why we can monetize, like we said before, more than 6 billion clicks per month.
Right. So who's your biggest advertiser at the moment, or your biggest client? Like, I'm not asking about specifics, but any idea about how much volume they're, bringing in?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's a couple of guys. That they're running more than 6 billion clicks per month.
Wow.
Which is a lot. It's a lot. It's even more than the people on Earth. And they can do it. They are only 2 guys.
And they're happy with your service, huh?
Yeah. So far, it's like they still have time. That's a good thing.
Right. So I believe you are introducing native as well, native networks, native advertising networks. When's that coming up?
I would say within the next 2 weeks. Native will be available. With all the major players in the market. And again, you will be able to track and how to optimize everything.
Exactly. So what other projects you guys are working on?
We have Roottimber, which is the Lord of the Postbacks. It's a postback solution, pretty simple for anyone that is running with several tracking systems. You can create or group all of them into Roottimber, and from Roottimber you just share the postback with whether your publisher or whether your advertiser, and it's the same concept as Landing Track. You don't touch that postback again because you do everything on the back end. All the rules, how to notify, multiply the payout, and so on.
Right. So it's easy to say that you are kind of AI guy in affiliate marketing industry right now.
We can say that. Beside that, we have more projects, actually, all tech projects. That's what we like to create, after all, is to create. And then thanks to people like you, appreciate it. It's actually how we make the products fitting their needs. When somebody told me, what do you think about this feature? I say, okay, makes sense. Yeah, I think it will be a benefit for everyone. So then we develop it. And when you tell me about a feature that it's only concerning to you, then I will say, that's only for you. So we cannot really develop it because you will be the only one taking advantage of that.
Right. Perfect. So the last question, I know it's complicated. It's sometimes it gets hard for people to understand. So how good is your support team and how good are you guys with?
Well, the good thing is that the support team, I would say that it's brilliant. It's brilliant because I'm also on the support team.
Okay.
My other partner, it's also in the support team. So you will be talking almost with the owners.
Right.
Sometimes we even know more than many people.
Right. I understand that. And I would like to share with my viewers that since I've been started testing it, I just kept in a week sending questions and things. So thanks for that. So is there anything else you would like to share or share with the viewers?
I will say because of course I did media buying in the past. Okay, like 2 years ago, and the most important thing for media buying is stop thinking and reading that much and start doing it. I mean, because after all, doing media buying is actually buying data.
Right.
Without data, you will never be able to do any progress.
Right.
So,
perfect advice. So thank you very much, Imedio.
You're welcome.
And you heard it, guys. Buy data and invest in media buying. So that's it. Thank you very much, Imedio. And it was nice talking to you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Pleasure. Ciao.